Okay. I would say welcome back. This is a completely new level. Um I yeah, my inner child is so happy with all the tools that I'm having now. It makes all the things even more fun, even though it's not about the things that I need to do something, you basically just need a phone to create a video. But it's nice to have these things. It feels good. My inner child likes it. To just have something to play with and to have things a little bit more professional, if you want to say. Yeah, so make yourself comfortable. I have a delicious cacao with me, and just gonna check. Okay. So there are a lot of things that wants to be shared, and I did start a video yesterday, and it didn't flow at all. I needed to stop it. Because, if we are uncertain with specific things, should we do it, should we not do it, then it's always nice to start and to see why you're doing it, if it flows or not, and then you know if it's good or not. So if you always have, or if you're at one point in a position where you don't know, and if it's either I do it or not do it, then do it, and just see how you feel while you're doing it, and then you will get your answer. So, because why I couldn't do it yesterday or why it did not flow is because I'm in a phase right now where a lot of things are rearranging inside of me. And I need some time to be integrated. And at one point, at the end of it, it's always nice to start sharing already a little bit, because it helps me to reflect as well. But if I'm completely in it, then it's very difficult because it's so unorganized and still so chaotic that it doesn't even make sense to record it because it just need more time. So I guess there are different phases and different type of things that I need in these specific phases. And I feel I have been given the gift to make a next step on my journey. And I want to flow into that, what it exactly means for me, so that you have a bigger understanding and a nice image in it. And I think that's the intention for today, why I sit here and why I started that. Yeah. Short break. Okay, let's start with the feeling that just comes up now as well. I don't like the angle so much. I always feel more looking like in this direction. I really love that. It feels so nice. Okay. So the feeling that comes up is that half of the day I'm with my mind and my emotions and my thoughts in Portugal. And especially if things are getting more uncomfortable here, the feeling of going back gets even bigger, which shows me that there is definitely a part that only wants to go back because it feels more comfortable there. And it's sometimes good to stay for some time in the uncomfortable feelings to understand where they're coming from, and to see if you are maybe already able to navigate through them and to shift them, to transform them. Because our core being, our place where we are always and from where we playing this game, is total inner peace. And there's no here and there, there's just the here and now. There's no place where you can move to where you feel better or where you feel worth. You just are, you just be. And with that understanding, you can see that you only feel in this human experience in specific places, good or bad, because they're creating a different kind of setting in your outside reality that you are experiencing. Okay, I feel right now there are still a lot of things that I would wish to have easier words for it and to describe it in the easiest way. But these are just things also that I'm like talking to myself and I understand my own language, you know, and I wish to be able to explain these things more. And let's see where this should go. Okay, maybe I just go through into my own experience again. That makes things often easier. So I feel often like going to Portugal, like going back to Portugal. I even fantasizing all the things that I can do there. But when I'm looking back, when I was in Portugal and I have felt a little bit uncomfortable there, I was like, oh, it would be nice to be in Holland, in Germany, or in another place. And then there I could create so many beautiful things. When I then arrive in these places, I never get things done that I thought I would like to do. And I always switch and I always slide at a specific point into this feeling of being uncomfortable. And that shows me that it really doesn't matter where in the world I'm going, and that I cannot run away from the inside world, from the things that are happening inside of me. And I can face it now, in this place, and I can face it later, in another place, or also here. There are so many things and timelines moving simultaneously that we have the allowance to switch into so many different realities. And especially now that things are speeding up, we are switching even more between all these timelines. Something is saying to me, Ifina, make it more, don't go into that, because it's, like I said, I want to make it as easy as possible to understand for everyone. So I guess this is an exercise for me. Okay, how can we make it roundy, round, bound, chuck down, no, there's a little flow in between of the no, quo, I don't know how to do, I don't know where to go, but I wanna know is I gonna flow, bum. Okay. This is really, this episode, this video really feels just like playing. And it's very it's very helpful for me to just see it as a game and not taking it so seriously. So I hope you have fun. To go back to what I am explaining. So I can face it here, this feeling of uncomfortable and where it's coming from, or I can do it another time. And it will happen whenever the time is ready. It will happen. That is for sure. But there's a great timing for it when everything is meant to happen for that. And in my mind, it's a little bit, the mind is very good in tricking ourselves. So there's definitely part of me also feeling I just want to go back to Portugal because there are great possibilities for me to do these things. And I might be needed. But because they are so... It's really, the more we go inside, we see like the outside is always just a reflection. And what I'm trying to say is that when I visualize myself being Portugal with all these possibilities, the amount of energy that I can access there that are representing in these possibilities and things that I can do, the same energy I have here, I have there, wherever I'm going. It's always with me. Because life is representing breadcrumbs in front of me, and these breadcrumbs can take different kind of forms, but they have always the same intention behind it and will always lead to the same thing. Means I can do it here, I can do it there, I can do it there. It really doesn't matter at the end. But because we want to run away from uncomfortable feelings, our mind likes to create different doorways out of this uncomfortable zone and making them shining very beautiful, very colorful. And then we go through this door, and if we are not aware, we go through this door and we end up in the same situation, but we forgot that we did this process already one time, or for many of us, many times actually. Then we are in the same pattern again, and we are in a different place outside of us, or in the physical realm, in the outside realm. But inside, the same happens. You're standing at the same point all the time. And maybe sometimes it's not about going through a door, but instead just staying where you are and looking what you maybe have already. And that might be a learning where you are right now, and obviously that is uncomfortable because it shows you something that you haven't seen yet or have not been aware about it before. And I would say this is just something that I'm thinking right now. One theory is that this uncomfortable feeling, we just made it negatively, but it's just an emotion that shows us actually, hey, here's something that I can learn about myself. And through all the experience that humanity and our lineage and our ancestors has been going through, this energy of this emotion of feeling uncomfortable has been given this negative energy a lot. You know, it was like trained over the years and over the years and over the years. And we learned a specific perspective on it. And I know it from my own experience that that it feels uncomfortable. But what does this word actually means, you know? Because there's a clear definition in my head of like something I want to run away, and it's like, but maybe it's actually something very beautiful. And if you look back, if you have ever faced yourself in an uncomfortable feeling, in an uncomfortable situation, and you stayed in it, and you recognized it for what it is, and you looked at it, how did it turn out? And I don't think that it's the energy that has shifted in that moment. I think it's the perspective that we have shifted in that moment. It's more like you have shifted your own energy, which shifted the perspective of something. It's like if we have a tree or something like this, and you always, not only you, but if you imagine your parents and the parents of your parents and the parents of your parents and your parents have been always looked from the same angle to the tree. It got very strong, this perspective, and the longer it has been done and nobody has been asking themselves, is there maybe another perspective they can do? Nobody ever was brave enough to take a step left or right, tiny little bit only. You can stay there, but tiny little bit. Then, this perspective gets denser and denser and stronger. But if you allow yourself to really stay in it with awareness and not distracting yourself with so many beautiful things that we have created in this human reality to distract ourselves, but you really stay there with awareness, then you may recognize that you're always able to walk to the left or walk to the right to see another perspective. And then suddenly it may not feel uncomfortable. It feels very comfortable. So, but because, and I notice for myself that the mind is so good in tricking ourselves and has so many tools, it's saying to me like, yeah, but there it's easier, you know, there will be different. And these are in my journey and from my experience actually always, with that I can recognize the tools of the mind that it's been using again. These sentences of, there I will feel a shift, there I will feel more free because of that and that and that. And this is also my journey of like understanding, okay, when is my mind speaking, when is my heart speaking? And honestly, I don't know yet to make a difference between that. Because for me it's also something to still experience. And with that I cannot do something right or wrong. I just go my way, and with experiences I understand how I'm functioning, how my mind is functioning, when my mind is speaking, when my heart is speaking. And for that I have to make experiences. And there we come to another point, that it's about making experiences to move forward on your path, and that there's never an ending. You're just playing something. And there's no judgment about how far you are or what you have been done or not yet done, because we will all come home at one point. We will always come home, and you decided already for what you want to experience, and you cannot fight against it. It will always play out. But what I wanted to say is about making experiences. I make a short break. Take a zip. Yesterday I felt this feeling of being stuck. In a sense, even when I imagine myself, okay, I'm going back to Portugal, it feels like I'm going in cycles. You know, I'm just running from one place to the other and looking for myself and what to do. And I'm seeing more and more how talented and how many gifts I have. And right now, it feels like I'm everywhere and nowhere at the same time. And my energy and my being needs some structure and some kind of plan, in the sense of like I know where to put my energy into. And I feel like even my emotional, I noticed this another day, that even my emotional state or my emotional being is reflected by this being everywhere and nowhere, because it goes like up and down in so many waves. And I think there are different facts to it, but it's also one representation of myself. And I think if I allow myself to really let my energy flow into something and start to create something, then also my emotional being will be represented more stable. So, and with that awareness, I felt this feeling of feeling so stuck and frustrated and sad that I just won in cycles and cycles. And at the same time, I'm very happy to see that I have this awareness already with an age of 23, that I hopefully in a few years can stay very stable in myself and can create and bring something very beautiful into this world. And with that, I shared that yesterday with my parents and let flow some tears because of the sadness that I felt and the frustration. My mom said to me, maybe it's nice to sit down and just make a map of basically everything. What am I good in? What would I like to create? What would I like to experience? Where would I like to go? And not even yet making a plan or anything out of it, but just really put it out. And then to speak with people about it and to see, okay, what are the first steps? Because I'm not sure, but I guess so. I'm not the only one in it, that we're always thinking in two big steps already. And it's sometimes good to have an outside reflection of another being to tell us, hey, I see this would be the most easiest step to start. And with that, I realized again, I am kind of depending on the help of others, and it is okay to accept that help. Which a part of me was until this point always like, no, I can do it myself, but I don't want to do it myself. I feel really alone now, and I noticed my life until now, I cannot do it without reflection. And now I'm really open to allow the help. And there's a part of me being afraid, maybe showing that map to different kind of people, because people are always a mirror of us, but not the whole mirror. It's a tiny, or it's a small part of ourselves that they're reflecting. So it's easier to talk about specific things to some people and to talk about other parts with other people. And this is another thing that I want to share, is that we need these social interactions with a whole bunch of people. Because with that you can understand and see more parts of yourself. And yeah, so I'm using this as a reflection, like a journal, if you want to say, as the first step to understand my map. What a rap. So this process is also a very good exercise in accepting myself for who I am, and that people don't have to understand every part of myself, but that everyone, every human being, or every being that I'm gonna meet on my journey or I have met, always shows a part of myself and always has a gift for me. Always, everybody. Everybody can teach me something. And there's definitely a part inside of me that likes to make myself very big, and me being the teacher and I know everything and you cannot tell me. And this is something I think I shared in the other episode I made last week. This spiritual ego that got very big. And it's challenging to to navigate that. And to accept it. That it's there. And make actually things so much easier when I share it, you know? When I say, hey, I have these things playing out inside of me. And then we notice that we are not the only one, that there may be different parts, or that their ego is playing out in a different way, but we all have it. And we cannot deny that. You can just let it play out inside of yourself and handle it with yourself. But for me, it helps to openly say it in a conversation. Hey, right now this comes actually up. And I'm on the journey with that. I'm on my own journey. With some people it's easier, with some not. I would say with people in my age it's actually easier to do that than with people that are older than me. And back to Portugal and being here. So I'm still at my parents' place, and I have to say I have a lot of fun here, and I'm actually happy here, and I'm doing great here. And if I open my eyes, there are so many possibilities. Like I said, wherever I'm going, there's always this gift of universe to create something, and everything I need for that is there. But I'm so challenged of making the first step that I even stop already by. Now, I want to say that I'm very proud of myself of doing this, because this is one of the first steps. And after this, I would like to create this map. And I think I just need some help to get going. Because I'm always, if I start something, I very quickly let it go again. And don't go, I think there's always like, okay, you once started, and then there comes a little tiny wet point where it gets challenging and where you have to push yourself a little bit, and then things can flow again. But I think I never went over that point. And another part that I'm challenged with is to commit myself for a longer time. If I say to myself, okay, I'm stay here for a year, this feels very challenging for myself. It feels like it takes me freedom. But but I can find freedom in the things when I create something that really comes from my heart and means something for me. Why can I not experience freedom in that, even if I commit myself for a year? And there's another thing. What I would like to create, I am challenged to commit myself to that. And that's very strange. I don't know, because if we talk about the Pippi house, yeah? The School of Remembrance, a place for young adults, for kids to create and experience magic, to find their inner light, to come back into peace, into their being, to remember who they are, and to bring their beautiful energy and their essence into this world to create something together in the place where we live together. I would love that so much, and I have many moments where I feel so lonely, and when I ask myself, okay, what do I really want, and why do I do all these things that I'm doing every day when I wake up? It's actually for that. But then seeing, okay, I could do it here, I don't want that. But why? This is still a gray place for me to go. I don't see really clear why this is happening. Maybe because when I always had this feeling when I achieve something, what then? What comes next? There's never an ending in this journey. And I think this is connected to finding the inner peace also inside of yourself and knowing I am home already. I cannot go somewhere. I am there already. And at the same time, I am here to play this game. And this game is about coming home again. And in this game, I'm going a path. And I think until now, I'm still in the mode of running away. And sometimes I'm very clear about that, and sometimes my mind is creating specific scenarios that shows me, oh no, I'm not running away, I'm actually doing something. And I don't know, it's difficult to make that clear. Whatever. But yeah, if you ask me what I actually want in this life, it's to create a place like this. And now I got something. I think in my head, to have this finished version, if you want to say it, it's very beautiful. But it would be very boring to be there now with my awareness completely without going through the path, without making the steps on that path, without having the challenges in between, because with these challenges I kind of create that place, and this place can only exist because of the challenges that I will go through, that will make up the essence of it, that will show me why I'm actually here. And this light, this fire inside of ourselves to create something specific is only there to guide us through our ways of challenges that we have set for ourselves to learn something about us and for our soul to grow. And we will realize that it really is not, at the end, really is not about arriving somewhere, that it's just about the experience that we're making. So for me, the fire inside of my heart of creating that space. It's not about creating that space, but it's about me giving the force to go through the path that is meant for me. And because I'm aware about these challenges more unconsciously, but they're playing their parts in the way I'm making decisions, it shows me, okay, I'm onto something. I'm just afraid. And I'm even so challenged I'm so challenged already to just make the first step. So how it's going to be afterwards, I have no clue. Maybe it's going to be very easy. Maybe it's going to be even more challenging. But this path is helping me to lift all the veils, to come really back into my being and to show me who I am. And this is what we all want to experience in the long term. And by me going that path, I'm helping others to go that path. And by those people going the path, they're helping me to go that path, and they're helping others. And with that, we're all coming back home. So we are all depending on each other. We are just all one big flower on our way to bloom. So today, I feel really good to be here. I'm excited to make the map. And there's also always the two sides of the coin. And there's a being channeled by a human that is called Bashar. And it's an entity from other beings who are living outside of this universe. And this Bashar, or this collective of these energies, now I got my point, what I actually wanted to say. Yeah, says that fear and excitement are actually the same energy. I don't know how he described it, if it's the perspective that we're changing on it. I think it's the same with this feeling uncomfortable, you know? That we can make the feeling of fear switching the coin to excitement. It has this, he said, it has, I think, the same vibration. So if I feel fear, I can actually shift it to excitement, you know, and that's something that I feel sometimes. That I feel excited to go this path, that I feel excited to do the work for it. And in other points, my perspective shifted again, and I'm like, oh, no. And then I'm like, yeah. And I think it's great if I find the balance in that coin, that I can see the whole coin and just staying in awareness with that. And to make the decision every moment, I know which way I want to go and which coin side I prefer, but I stay aware that there's another side of the coin that wants to be seen and wants to have the awareness as well. So I think the thing we are challenged in is duality of knowing that there are both sides, and from that both sides still knowing which way we want to go and making decisions on that without only focusing on one side. And another part is I would really love to ask for more help of people around me that love me so much, um, to help me on my path of finally starting to create something. Because inside of me, I also feel like it's something, even have images and visions, they're so close. They're here. They're here. They're inside of me. They just want for me to show that I'm ready for them to come out. And so making the map, sharing it with more people and getting the help. And then really slowing myself down with making the first step, slowing down to accelerate. Which I understand at that moment, at that point, connected to what I'm saying. When I'm thinking it too far, too big, and I try to make it now happening, it takes so much effort and so long because I'm actually just stuck and I'm in this loop like I described it at the beginning. But if I take it step by step, if I make it the map it's so detailed that I really understand, okay, this is the tiny first step, even if it's just drinking the water, but very small. Then suddenly everything can smooth so easily and so fast. So this is how I understand right now, slowing down to accelerate. But still, there's something that I would like to go to Portugal so much. The first thing I'm gonna do now is the map, and with that I might also understand more where to go right now. And this is something I did not understand yet because I often hear that it's only about the inside and it's always reflected on the outside, and that it really doesn't matter where I am. It's only matters the state of being that I am in. And then another perspective from people saying to me, but there are also places that you're just resonating more with. And I could not yet make the link between these two perspectives and understand for myself, okay, how do I navigate myself in that? With which perspective do I go? Or how can I interlink these two perspectives? Or how can I find my own truth in that? I don't know. And it actually feels good to say that because another part of me always wanted to know. I know. And I really like to do this right now, but I also have to pee, so I think I'm ending this beautiful game, this beautiful video now. It was very nice to sit here in this beautiful new, how do you call that, sitting sofa or chair sofa, whatever my mom got. It's very comfortable. I really love this corner. I love the green behind me, and I love the setup. And I also want to say a big, big, big thank you to my parents for all the trust they're putting in me, for all the things they're investing in me, for all the support that I am experiencing, and especially for the safely home that I had as a child to grow up and that I'm also now allowed to experience. I always come back into a house that is filled with openness, with a space to grow, with a space to share, and with an open heart where we care about each other and where we learn to open up and express ourselves more and more because it is safe. And yeah, this is something that I wish for everybody out there, that they find people that are trusting in them, really unconditionally trusting in them, because this is something that gives me so much power, that I experienced in Portugal, that I experienced in Holland, and that I'm experiencing here. That people unconditionally trusting in my path. Not understanding what I'm actually doing, but just trusting. And this is beautiful. This is amazing. And this is also something that I wish to give to people out there, to young people and to kids. Because with that, we can start to bloom. Much love, and talk to you soon. Love you.